Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great subject for ourselves today, so let's go ahead and dive right on in there. A little bit of fist bump, say howdy. Our subject for today is selling. How to sell features and benefits. What did he say? I said selling. How to sell features and benefits. Well, first off, guys, if you're out there trying to sell a product, you got features on your product, okay? You got those things that are what they call hot points, those hot buttons, those things that people will go, dang, that sounds real good. That sounds very interesting. You know, when you're looking at features, just say, for instance, I don't know, let's talk about a TV. You got a TV. Well, you got a little button right here. You turn it on. That's a button. Wow, that thing's a button. That's a feature. Maybe you also got a remote control. That remote control. I mean, the simplest things made to us seem trivial, but to customers, it could be something that's very important and a purchasing reason for them to invest from you. Now, like I said, if you're looking at a TV, you got a remote control, you let them see the remote control, and hopefully you got the same remote control in your hand, and you can let them hold it, because what you're doing is you're giving a transference of ownership to the customer. So what you're doing in this regard is you're talking to the customer, you hand them the remote control, you got the remote control. Now what you want to do is you want to show them how to turn it on and off. Simple, yes. I mean, you could be selling a car, opening the door, and shutting the door. Doesn't that sound real good? You could be opening, you could be selling insurance, and your family, by having this particular policy, don't have to worry about what's going to happen in the future. I mean, literally, if you sell a home, you could talk about the community, how beautiful it is, and the environment, the area around it, so that the value of the home is very valuable. You're talking about features. Features can be the way something looks, something acts. If you're selling, it doesn't matter. You could be selling a widget. As long as you've got something that you can talk about. Now, you don't want to talk so much about everything. You just have to get a few things and do your research. Find out from top salespeople in your company and stuff, what are the hot buttons? What are those features that make people go, dang, that sounds pretty interesting. Can you give me some more information? A lot of times they won't, customers may not even tell you that kind of stuff, but the truth is, if you can catch their attention, it only takes a few minutes. Sometimes if you're on the telephone, you got a few seconds. You might have 20 seconds. You know, hey, Miss Mary, how are you doing today? What? Okay. Hey, listen, I know you were thinking about investing in something, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And in this regard, you've kind of caught their attention. What are you talking about? You've caught their attention. Then you start talking about the benefits. Of course, you know, when you're talking to people, sometimes you got to kind of have this little rah-rah time, this little bit of time where you can build a little bit of rapport. Don't talk about you, talk more about what's in it for the customer, who they are. If you see something that you knock on their door, they got a pretty painting, they got pictures of their kids. If, say, for instance, if they're wearing a cool hat, if they're just whatever, it doesn't really matter. What you got to do is you got to make the customer feel at ease. And when you're talking about features in this regard, you're going to talk about them, you're going to point them out. Let's just say, for instance, a sofa. You look at a sofa, it looks just like every other sofa until you point out the features. You know, if you notice, they got these little wood sticks on the bottom, at the bottom down here, that's able to take off. So if you have to get it through a door, you can just take those little dudes off. And in this regard, you're giving them a feature and a benefit where you take it off so you can get it through the door. If you'll notice how this backing is, and you feel how firm that is, you know, and then you go into benefits. You always have features and benefits. They go back to back with each other. And in this regard, if you're looking at, I don't know, let's look at jewelry, for instance. Man, a person will look at a piece of jewelry and you can describe it. You can paint pictures for the customers. What you're doing is you're going to point out, hey, do you notice that this has this many facets, this has this many diamond, I mean, it's just beautiful, and so forth. And what you're doing is you're creating value. When you're a salesperson, features and benefits go hand in hand, and the reason why it's so important that you point out benefits, because there may be some things they don't see. A lot of products, like say for instance, if you're selling computers, I mean, all the computers to me, they kind of all look the same. I used to sell them for a living, and one of the things that I had to do was I had to break it down, because when a customer has 20 different computers to look at, and they got so many places to go buy those particular products, you got to have the feature and benefits. And you got to say, hey man, let me show you some things you may not have thought about. Oh, I'm just looking. That's okay. You know, most of our customers are always looking to invest in something, especially if there in our stores, they're wanting to buy something, they're looking at something online. If we can show them some features of a product that they may not have even thought about, and remember, the simplest stuff that we take for granted may not be so simple to the customer, because this could be brand new technology and they didn't know they were in the market until you pointed it out. Okay, I'm being serious. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the warts and all kinds of great things that's got to do with selling. Remember, we're talking about features and benefits. Selling, how do you show your features and benefits? First off, if you've got a captive audience, you're out in a furniture store, for instance, you're walking around and they start touching stuff, they start feeling stuff, they start rubbing stuff. They're trying to figure out, wow, this might look real good in my house. And then you start talking about the benefits. Oh, it's got the coils, the springs, it's got the backing, it's got the toughen, it's got all these different things. And if you just talk about features, they're going like, what is that? So what you got to do is when you have features and benefits, you have to break it down for the customers. Like a recliner, for instance. Well, you notice right here, this one is electric. What? Are you kidding me? The old style is the old ones where you had the little crank there on the side and you pop it open and it kicked out your legs. And then one of the things that you got with this little benefit is, hey, say for instance, maybe you have a hard, your legs hurt and it's really hard for you to close those particular recliners. So by having this capability of being able to manipulate it with electric, it's going to be a benefit to you. Or if you buy a new mattress, you got a mattress, they all look the same. But if you notice, this particular mattress, it's got a pillow top on it. It's going to give you more of a luxurious feel to it. And in this regard, it's going to be real good. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I'd tell you some stuff that you hadn't really thought about. And benefits, oh my gosh, those are the reasons why people want to buy from you. They want to own stuff. And if you're out there selling stuff, you got to go ahead and give them those features, and you got to give them the benefits behind them. Just don't start talking about features and then not give no reasons what's so great about them. A lot of times, like I say, I talk to customers in many different capacities. I have many different licenses and certifications. I've been in sales in one form or capacity over the phone, in retail, business to business, and I've also done door to door. So I have a tremendous amount of information when it comes to selling. And one of the things that I always like to do is, keep it real simple. What you want to give is maybe 4, 5, 6 different benefits. And then if they ask more questions, okay, that's good, because see, that means they're engaged. If they're listening, you can show them and you can have some good conversations. Now, another thing that I do as far as benefits are concerned and features is I have me a little a playbook. I call it my little playbook because what it's got inside of it is, like let's say, for instance, for furniture. When I sold furniture for years, I used to carry this little book around with me. And in this little book, it had pictures and insides and outside of electronics, how electronics worked, what was inside of a stove, what was inside of a refrigerator, what was inside of a sofa, the manufacturing process, and you don't have to use it on every single product. You don't have to show it every time. But what I did was, if I had a captive audience, it only took a minute or two just to get them to say, oh, okay. And then I say, well, do you know what the benefit behind this is? And they'll look at me and go, what do you mean? It looks like every other sofa. It looks like every other product. Well, here's what the benefit is, and let me show you. It's just like with extended guarantees and warranties and stuff. You can have a conversation with somebody, and you can talk to them, but if you can show them, well, look, this is the general time frame that most things break down. And a lot of times, and what you're doing is you're showing graphs and pictures of scenarios when things happen, and you're breaking it down for them. You're talking about, hey, that everything is man-made. It's going to have issues like tissues, and they're going to break eventually. But one of the key success that we have with our particular company is we offer benefits that can not only take care of you today, but also take care of you in a time of need. Now, see, that's a real benefit. A lot of times people they gloss over their guarantees, their warranties, and their extended maintenance agreements. They don't even talk about them, or because they're afraid, hey, listen, I got to sell the front end, but now I got to sell the back end. Well, listen, if you're going to be a good salesperson, you got to be a complete salesperson. That means you got to sell the get and the go. You got to sell it all. And the selling is such a great thing because our topic for today is selling and showing and how to sell features and benefits when you're talking to customers. right now, the benefit of listening to this video is that, hey, listen, you're going to learn some basic things so that way you can have a better selling career. You can have a better opportunity. And one of the things that you got to do when you're getting into sales, a brand new sales person, is to go ahead and do your research. Look at your products. What are those things that stand out to you? Put yourself in a customer's position. What are the things that make you go, oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, that's kind of good. See, listen, when you're getting trained on a particular product, listen, write down those things. Write down those things that caught your attention, but also listen to what other people think, that as far as what do they like about it. And get yourself a book, and once you have that little book together, you can point out those features, and then you can offer benefits behind why they should invest with that particular product and those features. Now, you've got a lot of people who are in sales out there, and I'm going to tell you what, a lot of times customers and great salespeople, the reason why they're so successful is because they talk about the benefits and what is invaluable for the customer. Just point out the simple stuff, guys. It ain't brain surgery or anything. And ask questions, go shopping, go interview other salespeople. And what I mean by that is, you might be wasting their time, but you can listen to what they have to say and see if you're doing what they're doing, or are you doing more. A lot of times, see, real great salespeople, they're going to ask for the order multiple times. They're going to ask you closing questions, and they're going to show you a lot of features, and they're going to show you some benefits, and they're going to wow you, because good salespeople, they're looking outside the box. They're not looking inside the box. They're not trying to be mediocre. And the reason why they're successful is because they've learned how to have a selling conversation. They know it's a numbers game. But the key to success in this regard is you have to have selling, and you have to sell features and benefits. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you some things that would make you go, okay, that's pretty good. See, features and benefits go hand in hand. If you're buying something, go today, when you go shopping, look at something and then write down what made you want to maybe think about buying. Now, ask your significant other, your children, ask your friends, another salesperson, just go shopping and then look at stuff and look at the features and then talk about it between each other. Well, this is a feature, and you practice this, and this is a benefit. What would be the benefit of owning this particular product? What would make me want to buy it? What would make you want to buy it? Why would kids want to buy it? So if you have a product, you get a chance, you just do your research. A lot of people, they don't research. They just get their product. They don't think about it. They just sell because somebody gave them some basic information, and sometimes they turn out to be pretty good salespeople. But see, here's the key to success. If you want to be an awesome salesperson, you got to think about what's the holistic approach. What more can I learn about my product? Who's using it? Why would people want to invest in this? Why? And you also got to find out if the product's for you, because sometimes we can sell products that ain't for us, and we should be looking at another sales. We should be looking at another niche. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. So we just had a really simple conversation about selling and features and benefits and how to use them. Hey, Dom, this is my son. He wants to say something.
Hey guys, if you guys like this video, press the big thumbs up, and also subscribe if you guys would like to see more videos. Comment down below what you guys would like to see, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Woohoo! That's Dom Darklord. That's my son. He's got his own YouTube channel. But my name is Gary Lee Stanley. Again, we just had a very simple conversation, guys, about selling and selling with features and benefits, and how to sell features and benefits, and how to make your customers feel at ease when you're using your features and benefits, because selling is a great opportunity. It's a great career, and the key to success when you become a salesperson is to learn the fundamentals, the basics, keep it real simple when you're talking to a customer. And a lot of times, like I said, if you give customers benefit or features and you don't tell them about the benefits, how it can make their lives better, you're not really selling. So go ahead and learn as much as you can about your products, features, and benefits, and be excited when you talk to customers. Because, see, customers, they don't want to buy from mediocre people. They want to buy from superstars like you. A little fist bump, say how important you are, and we really appreciate you. So give us a thumbs up. Check out my videos. I got a bunch of them on selling. So go out there and sell something. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. And today we just had a very simple, it's just a simple thing about selling and how to sell using features and benefits. I hope you got some good information out there. So do me a favor, go out there and sell something, but if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. Oh my goodness, selling features and benefits. That's real good. So go out there and sell something and use those features and benefits so you can close more sales. All right. All right.